Hello, and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. So we zoom out first here and take a look at the Bitcoin chart and the price development of the April high. Looking at the proportions, I've just moved where the wave W is sitting, the wave X is sitting. I think this works much better now, but it doesn't have any impact at all on lower time frame targets at this stage. Compared to what I told you in the last video. So from that point of view, no change. We're still, in my opinion, in a wave 2 in this scenario. I show you both. I show you the imminent bearish and the imminent bullish scenario. However, bear in mind, and this often gets lost in translation as it seems, we are still in an overall bullish scenario, okay? We are still in an overall bullish scenario, and as long as we're holding the 22K level, the idea is that in one of the next steps, we should rally in a third wave to 40K plus, okay? Then maybe before we go into the scenarios, a few words of, a reminder, words of caution, I don't know. Sometimes when we see quick reactions of the Bitcoin price, we see some, disappointment in the comments, people who say they sold it all in the hope to buy back lower. I can only say, all I can provide here is the analysis, right? You obviously need to add your trading skill. We've said it many times that a few things. So first of all, and that's what we discuss in the membership a lot, but also here in the public YouTube videos, that for me personally, at least, and I know for a lot of other people, the process of scaling in and scaling out, so scaling into support, splitting your buy orders into several smaller chunks and just scaling into support so you're not left chasing should price turn around early, which it, to be honest, does all the time. If you don't prepare for that mentally, then you will be lost and you will not survive this market. So that's very important. Price turns around all the time at an instant and also quite frequently early. The crypto market isn't as clean anymore as it was in 2017, 2018 in terms of its price developments. And that requires an adjustment of strategy. So I'm not here for your strategy because that's individual. I'm here for, I can give you some food for thought and tell you what I'm doing, which is exactly what I did, right? I did scale in here 1.5 weeks ago because I knew that stuff can always turn around, but still think it will go lower. But again, you never know. Nobody knows about the price developments. I just want to share that, instead of having that all in, all out approach, which often is based on emotions, consider maybe a scaling approach. You can try that. That's up to you if you want to try that. I just can only share with you that that is what has helped me much more in the crypto market. Then also waiting for that last low. It just sometimes doesn't happen. It just sometimes doesn't happen. So also here, we've said many times that Bitcoin could have bottomed already. And so from that point of view, there shouldn't be any surprise if Bitcoin's price turns around early. You just sometimes don't get that last low. It is also something that is typical in the crypto market. These prices turn a lot. And then lastly, I said, we are in a correction. So corrective structures morph a lot as well. So what you need to understand is that it's sometimes not wise to put your entire strategy into the hands of one possible last wave that might come or might not come, especially if the second likely scenario confirms a breakout is possible, right? So just some food for thought from a strategic point of view. You need to consider, and that's just, take it in the right way. I hope this is helpful because if you don't do this, chances are that you will be lost in this market. I show you different scenarios here, and that's not for fun. So I show you the most likely scenario, which is my preference as long as certain conditions are fulfilled. What you need to understand is that also any alternative scenario, and I show you typically 2 or 3 scenarios, which is quite low compared to the uncountable amount of scenarios that could theoretically play out. I show you only what should play out, and they are typically not one, but 2 or 3 scenarios. You need to consider them all if you want to have a solid strategy. If you only try to trade or focus on the primary expectation, that's not part of the analysis, right? The analysis comprises and includes a primary count and an alternative count, and maybe sometimes 2 alternative counts if we have more uncertainty in the markets. And I think one of the misconceptions in technical analysis, that especially a lot of new traders make is that they try to focus only on the primary count. But the problem is you don't focus on the primary count only, right? When trading, you consider all counts and scenarios, and then you come up with your plan, your strategy. Okay, so that's very important. It's called scenario planning. I wrote an article in the membership yesterday, quite a long one, but we've talked about that many times. That of course all the scenarios I show you are likely. I wouldn't even show you the unlikely ones. Okay, I don't want to waste your time. So that's very important. Maybe it helps. Anybody who wants to learn more, check out the membership, of course. We talk a lot about that stuff. Right, so what are the scenarios? First of all, we take a look at this chart here. Idea is we are in a wave 2 in this particular scenario. And we came down in a wave W, we moved up in an X wave, and we're now coming down in a Y wave. That could take us sort of into the region between 23,960 and 25,312. In this wave Y, it is typically a 3-wave move. We have an A wave down, we have a B wave up, and we have a C wave down. So now we need to talk about, okay, so that means that this B wave is likely corrective. So a B wave is always corrective. Bear in mind, this is only one of these scenarios, but it's important to understand the parameters. So we had resistance here at 27,150. I did highlight to you that if we break 27,150, our next resistance levels are 27,700, where price reacted yesterday already. Yeah, so it was to be expected that if 27,150 breaks, we go quickly to 27,700 and then also to the next level we identified already a while ago at 28,320. Now, if we consider that this is just an ABC correction, we need to have 3 waves only. If we get 5 waves, it is something more bullish, which would be the second scenario. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But here, if we talk about this, the idea is that in this B wave, we have an A wave, we have a B wave, we have a C wave. Bear in mind that I consider this an ABC structure because the B wave came down quite deep. And bear in mind that any pattern like that, so any B wave itself can be very strong and can even produce fake breakouts. So with a B wave, you need to be ready that it can go higher than anticipated, okay? It's just part of the game. And if we take a look at the measurements, Fibonacci extensions, we have now reached the area between the 1-to-1 ratio and the 1.618 extension between 27,730 and 28,880. This is the area where this C wave can be finished at any time. It's just a typical target. Yeah. However, as long as we only have 3 waves up, and at the moment we have 3, I will let you know if we have 5. As long as we only have 3 waves up overall, I consider this only a B wave or something corrective. I need to see 5 waves up to confirm that Bitcoin has bottomed. And here's where the alternative scenario comes in, or the second scenario. But by the way, in this particular count, the bearish count, we want to see a reaction somewhere here, ideally, then a reaction to the downside for one more lower low. Important here to understand, I did draw that trend line yesterday here onto the chart. That is something where, price might react to, I don't know, but it's certainly a level to watch here around the 1.618 extension, actually at 28,890. So now let's take a look at the immediate bullish breakout count. So in the more bullish count, which is the direct breakout count, we would have here, because a breakout can happen from here, we would have a wave 1 here, a wave 2 here. We're now in a third wave, a fourth and a fifth. Here, the minimum target for a third wave, as you know, it's always the 1.618 Fibonacci extension. So we take the length of the wave 1, go to the low of the wave 2, and minimum target would be 28,890 or 880 roughly, plus minus a few dollars depending on your exchange. Ideally higher, so if we push higher than that, it could rather be a third wave. But without having 5 waves, I cannot confirm that price has bottomed. Okay, so we need 5 waves. Until then, it could just be a high B wave. What we want to see after 5 waves up, we want to see 3 waves down. Okay, so that's sort of the steps you need to go through in Elliott Wave to be able to confirm that a low has been made. I had a comment yesterday that, but as soon as you can confirm it, we've already reached 30K. Absolutely. This would likely go to 30K. But obviously this, again, I just said it, this is only the analysis. I mean, this doesn't tell you that you only can buy after the 5th wave, right? The key is here a misunderstanding again that, when trading, you don't need to wait for confirmation, okay? If you wait for confirmation all the time, then the price has already moved, right? But this is the analysis. From an analysis point of view, I cannot confirm to you that we have bottomed until we see 5 waves. That doesn't mean you have to wait with buying until we have those 5 waves. That's why I shared with you already over the last couple of weeks that this here could be a 1-2 setup. It's just not a very likely one, yeah, which can of course be traded, as a pullback basically down here, not up here, okay? So that's the difference between analysis and trading. You need to see that as separate. I can only, again, share the analysis, but you need to add your trading skill. And some people are breakout traders. Yeah, some people might have gone long at 27,700, which was our breakout point. No, 27,150. That would be in profit. Other people would have bought the pullback, also in profit. So again, depends always on the strategy. Yeah. So, but then again, some people prefer to wait for confirmation. They wait for the 5 waves up, but they have enough patience to wait for the following 3-wave pullback and would buy that. They do that because they want to have some clarity first that price has turned around to buy the pullback. Okay, so that's always it. Again, prices are always moving. There's always progress in the chart. It just depends on, are you a pullback trader or a breakout trader? Are you someone who prefers to wait for confirmation or not? Okay, so that is very important. Always important to understand. Price did reach here the trend reversal area, so a turnaround wasn't expected, to be honest. Yeah, of course, until you see a signal, you don't know. So that's how to understand this. Always important to understand that every word in an analysis is important, but then again, not much happened anyway if you zoom out. So price hasn't moved a lot, and if this already is the breakout, also very important to understand, if this is already the breakout, then it should take us to 40, 50K, right? So you haven't missed anything. Also important to understand that if this is a bullish setup, why do I need to see 5 waves? Well, I could probably confirm earlier, but it's not always that simple, because in this case, the wave 1 only has 3 waves. So if wave 1 has only 3 waves, then I normally need to wait for all 5 waves to complete to confirm. And then we get the 3-wave pullback, which would be the next setup, because it can only work as a diagonal pattern, basically. So it's less reliable. Very important, which is also why it's only the secondary scenario. Also, because this pullback here was too deep to make a wave 2 likely. Right, that should give you really everything you need to know at the moment about the Bitcoin chart on this time frame. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter. You can find the links in the description. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.